Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you how to replace a front strut on this 2003 Chevy Monte Carlo. And it's the same part and similar process on these Monte Carlos from 2000 to 2005. And we show you on the passenger side, but the driver's side is the same procedure. And the items you'll need is a new front strut from 1AAuto.com, a 15, 19, and 21 millimeter socket and ratchet, an 18 millimeter wrench, a hammer, a torque wrench, penetrating oil, and jack stands. Start off by using a 19 millimeter socket to loosen up these lug nut caps. And pull your hubcap free. And if you have air-powered tools, you want to lift your vehicle and remove the lug nuts. If you don't have air-powered tools, you want to keep the vehicle on the ground, loosen the lug nuts, raise the vehicle, and then remove the lug nuts the rest of the way. And then just pull your wheel free. Now spray these two strut bolts with some penetrating oil, and do the same thing for these three up here.
And remove the nuts on top. You want to leave one of them in place just to hold the strut until you take the lower part apart.
Just leave one nut on there. Just finger tight.
Put an 18 millimeter wrench on one side, and then use a 21 millimeter socket and ratchet on the other. And you may need a piece of pipe for some extra leverage. And then just loosen up those two nuts.
And just another quick note here, our car does not have ABS. If you do have ABS, there'll probably be another couple of brackets you need to remove first.
Hammer the knuckle in between the two posts of the strut, and then remove those nuts the rest of the way. And then just hammer out the bolts. Pull the bolts the rest of the way free. Now pull your wheel knuckle forward, push the strut back, and then angle it down, and then remove that nut that you put back on finger tight up top, and then pull your strut down and out. On the bottom is the old strut, above it is the new strut from 1AAuto. You can see they're identical and they'll fit exactly the same. Take your new strut and feed it back up into place. And then just replace those nuts by hand at the top of the strut. And push the strut back behind the wheel knuckle, and then push the wheel knuckle into it. And then replace those two bolts as far as you can. And you will have to maneuver it around a bit to get the holes to line up. And then use a hammer and hit them in. When they have about this much space left, you can just use the nut to pull them the rest of the way through. So just replace the nuts and then tighten these up. And now torque these two bolts to 130 foot-pounds. Replace the wheel. And then replace and tighten up those nuts in a crossing pattern. Now torque each of them to 100 foot-pounds in a crossing pattern. And we'll fast forward as Mike tightens those 3 nuts at the top of the strut. And torque each of these to 30 foot-pounds. Now replace your hubcap. And tighten up your lug nut caps. And then you're all set.
We hope this video helps you out. Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.